All right, greetings. I'm back. This is part two of the Equinox reading. Part one, we actually did the reading. We got the name. I mentioned that it's out of balance, and this name is definitely out of balance a little. The other thing we got to look at is the fact that the balance is not only a little bit out of balance on the fact of your will, your belief, your desire. There's no desire here. It's mainly going to be will and a little bit of belief. And there's also no crystallization, no salt here. You also got to look at the what's inside and what's out, the energy that pushes out and the energy that pushes in. If we look again at this, so the first card we have is going to be right here. Now this is an outward release, but it's also outward. Has to do with the outer restraints put on you by society. It's also death is the ultimate like floor ceiling, and the release of life into death is also the seeds of something new. So that's why this is on the outer release and this outer limitations, and this is your inner release and inner limitations. And then your second card we have here is going to be up here, which is will. Is that outer image you cast out into the world to change the world without. Casting image out to create change in the world without you. So right now we're pushing out. And it's pretty much all out, except next we come around to inward, which we start casting inward here. With when we get to war, that's an inward limitation or inward devotion to stuff within your tribe, your clan, yourself. So, but then we immediately come back outward over here with this outward growth of Jupiter. So we're heavily pulling outward. It's very off balance, and you can see everything's kind of just one part of this. This is nothing over on this side. So this reading is very out of balance. This shows us when you focus on bringing some balance to that, when you put a little more focus on that inward energy rather than just going without. Sometimes when we get too overwhelmed with trying to change the world without, we don't focus on what needs to be changed within. That's where the real growth and the real change always must come from in, and we must change ourselves before we can really change the world. Otherwise, we just go blindly trying to make change and creating chaos in the world. Not the good type of chaos that brings about order, which in the end, chaos magic and chaos theory is all about those higher dimension, those higher orders, which when you're down in it seems like chaos. So that's kind of how we're out of balance. So this is out of balance. So we got to look at that balance. Look at the name. Now, one thing about the names is sometimes since you're doing a reading with cards and you randomly get stuff, sometimes you get things that are a little bit hard to pronounce, like things, long strings of vowels or long strings of consonants. So there's a system within the Book of Dream Names that you can use to add extra letters, implied letters, to help bring balance to it. And so for consonants and vowels, so if you have a bunch of consonants, you're going to be using the EAO formula. And if you have a bunch of vowels, you are going to be using the LUX formula. LVX, which is Lux, which is light, and EAO. This just simply goes by where we're at, and so when you didn't get desire, but desire is the triangle, belief, and will. So if you want, so we could rewrite this out as I, X, B, A, C, X, and M, O. So I would probably, and so this is kind of a art, not a science, but me writing the name, I back more. Abekmo is how I would pronounce this name. This djinn's name is Abekmo. 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 So Abekmo, and then you start looking at just ways of playing with the sigil. There's real sense here. Kind of like having this turned over here like this. And I will probably end up redoing it, but and within there, I'm gonna redo it on my computer and do a digital sigil. I'm kind of a digital artist, so that brings that. I'm going to go from here. And this is there, and then so that's kind of my basic idea for the sigil for that. So I'll probably end up reworking it, and that's kind of how you do it. So now we have a name, Abekmo, and I can call on the djinn Abekmo to help me make transformations I need to do. And one of the things Abekmo is the wisdom he's giving us is that we need to work on balancing what's without and what's within. We need to bring more inner, and since what he gives us is the war magic, the red magic, the perfecting of your will, which is a will card, fixing your will on that work of transformation of yourself, of that which is in yourself, transforming your health. You need to be about perfecting your will of yourself, and we need to do heavy focus on that in this coming time. But at the same time, our head needs to be on what do we believe that the way our will, our magic of our will, transforms the world around us. When we believe, our structure of belief, our thought forms are structured by the way we believe that we can change the world. And we need to focus on that. We need to concentrate on how we change the world. So these are things that he'll help us with. And he'll give us the energy. We begin by giving us the energy by breaking down those old patterns of limitations. You're not limited. Fix yourself on breaking down those old patterns. You're not limited by society. You can create change in accordance with your will by focusing on perfecting your will, perfecting your health, yourself. And in the heart of it, your wealth is going to change. And as long as you're fixed on that change, you can create the change you want. But just put a little more focus on what you're doing physically, your physical health, your physical well-being. Fortify yourself strongly. So you pull yourself away from that outer and inward so that when you come to this, you're coming at it from a balanced point of view. So that's my reading. That's my little talk on some of the ideals behind the Book of Dream Names. I plan to do a few more of these, some more readings, and also some more instructions on the different cards in the Book of the Dream Names. I will add a link, and on my website, vovenluncheon.com, there's a link where you can actually get these cards yourself, and you can get the Book of Dream Names. I'm working on a book which will be working with probably a Scroll of Thoth again. And I'm just working on getting this all ready, but I'm going to do a series of these where I explain the different concepts as we help bring you to an understanding of what the magic of the Book of Dream Names is. In this, we'll talk about the influence the work of the Ordualgal had to do with it, and the balancing of the influence of Luciferian chaos magic. Thank you guys for tuning in. I will be talking to you later, and you all stay safe out there and create change in the world. Do art, do magic, because art is magic. All right, this is Voven Launchen, and I will talk to you guys later. Bye.